This is going to be a good one. In this video, we are checking out Codex Space Wolves from 2nd edition Warhammer 40,000.
Scifiwargamers.
Greetings, hobby fans. My name's Marcel, and it's my mission to help you explore the hobby. So, Space Wolves, do you like them? Do you hate them? Well, back in the Rogue Trader era, and I should say the 2nd edition era. Are we on to Middlehammer yet, or is this still Oldhammer? I'm going to go with Oldhammer. Anyway, they were the first faction to receive a codex in White Dwarf in Warhammer 40,000 2nd edition, and that was the Codex Space Wolves. And I don't know what year this was released in, although there is a date in here, 1994. How old would you have been then? Anyway, let's jump in and have a look at this marvellous looking tome. So here we are, Space Wolf fans. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is Codex Space Wolves from 2nd edition Warhammer 40,000. And I'd just like to take a moment to appreciate that amazing piece of artwork on the front cover there by Jeff Taylor, I believe. Jeff Taylor, yes. We have some lovely old pieces of art, photos I should say, of some old dioramas there. Games in progress. We have some old school Tyranids. Look at those guys and the Carnifex versus the Space Wolves. Down here is some Eldar versus Space Wolves. I do love this era of scenery. I think it looks fantastic. Contents page and some more lovely black and white artwork. A section about Fenris, life on Fenris, the Fenrisians and the Space Wolves. Don't think I've ever seen that piece of artwork before in my life. Some little fluff pieces here. They really did go to town with these little stories back in the day. They created a wonderful little bit of background atmosphere. Over here we hear about the history of the Space Wolves during the Great Crusades, the Primarch, and of course the Horus Heresy. Here's an old picture that some of you may recognise of Leman Russ himself with his two wolves. What are they called? Frecky and Gary? Or is it Jerry? I thought Jerry was a Spice Girl. Who knew? I assume this is a picture of the Fang. Is this one of the only pieces of artworks of the Fang? Please let us know in the comments below. Check out all these people on here. Or is that supposed to be grass? I don't know. Logan Grimnar's company organisation down there, looking very interesting. And some Space Wolf badges. Which is your favourite? Let's have a little look. I think I like either the Spirit Wolf down here, or maybe the Sun Wolf. Yeah, I'm going to go with those two as my favourites. But this is the one we see most of the time. Priests of the Space Wolves. Lots of gumph in here, lots of background information. Wolf Scouts, were they old people or were they young people? I can never remember what they were supposed to be. Here we have yet another huge story there about Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Who remembers that guy? Warhammer 40,000, Fangs of the Wolf. I think this is a battle report. Yes, it is. And check out that old Orc battle wagon. The famous Rogue Trader era Orc Dreadnought up there. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Wa spelt just W-A-A. There's no G-H on the end of that one. And there's your old Gazgul mini, if you were interested. I do like the old Orcs, I think they look nice. The Space Wolves over here. Not just Space Wolves, these are Ragnar Blackmanes. Space Wolves, Njal Stormcaller, and Ragnar himself with blonde hair at the time. And Ulrich the Slayer. I think this was around the first time when Space Marines got their first chapter headquarter trio. You'd always get a commander, your chief librarian, and your chief chaplain. I remember they rolled it out for like the Dark Angels and Blood Angels and the Ultramarines after this. Why is there a Dark Angels Predator sitting there? I don't know, but this is the battle report in all its glory. Look at that old scenery. It really does look absolutely wonderful. I'm sure this brings back a lot of wonderful magical memories to those of you old enough to remember it. Especially even maybe this guy, Andy Chambers, still doing the rounds today, I believe. And Jervis, recently sadly departed from Games Workshop. I think he's retired now. They've spelt War correctly this time. Here's your old Bjorn model. They even gave you a banner to cut out and ruin the other page. I always used to colour photocopy these at school and get told off because we weren't supposed to use the colour photocopier because colour photocopies back then were very expensive. One of the first tactical squads in metal featuring a specific faction, if I remember correctly, with these Space Wolves. I remember being very jealous of my friend's set, and it had the close combat weapons sprue with all the little swords and bolters on, and that was amazing. I wonder if I can get a look at one of those at some point. Love these old Beaky models. Can't beat a bit of Beaky. Here's Ragnar again. Gave you the old banners to cut out and keep. Even highlighted for you. Absolutely fantastic. Did you cut your codexes up? This is what I want to know. Some more here. There's Njal Stormcaller. I always used to call him Njal when I was young. Young and foolish. The Wolf Guard, probably my favourites. I was always a fan of Terminators, especially Terminators with assault cannons. To this day, I think it's one of the best designs in 40k. I do like the old Space Wolf Iron Priest, known as a Tech Marine, 2 other chapters. Here we have some of the old War Gear cards. Nightwing, the Cyber Raven, the Axe Morkai, and the Pelt of Wolfen. But I don't know what the Hood of Neril is. Never heard of that. The Wolfenstone. Anyone know what any of these things are? What we got? Helm of Durfast, Wolfenstone, Herolf's Hood of Darkness, and Torgal's Plasma Blade. Oh, and we get black and white versions that we could paint ourselves. I think I'd go with the colour photocopies and save myself some work. Space Wolves Forces. So here we actually have some rules beginning now, along with some old fluff. I think we've seen this picture before. Blood Claws over here. Grey Hunters, don't get a picture. Long Fangs, I remember this piece of artwork. They were the old guys, if I remember correctly. That's why they had long fangs. Clever that, isn't it? The Wolf Guard. I thought they were Wolf Guard, not Wolf Guards. Maybe that's been changed over time. These were the Terminators, the veterans. Just Wolf Lord up there. Wolf Priest. Rune Priest. Lots of rules. Lots and lots of rules. Your Iron Priest has rather a lot of rules. And a Mark Gibbons piece of artwork here. Is this Bjorn when he was younger? I don't know who that is. We come now to the Space Wolves army list with another repeated piece of artwork. I do like this old style though. It's very pleased to be guarding that citadel there in the background. Some war gear lists along with some more fluff. And here we are into the meat of the army list. Some characters, lots of characters to pick from. Grey Hunters, Blood Claws, Long Fangs and Wolf Scouts. There's that piece of artwork again. But here is everyone's favourite, Beaky Marine. Can you tell I am biased towards the Beakies yet? Up to 20, Wolfguard. No more. Just heard a bang outside the window. Don't know what it was. We'll find out what that was later. Probably my car being broken into. Support. Noticed back in the day you had access to your tarantula support weapon in your basic codex, which is very interesting. And here are your special characters. Wolf Priest, Ulrich the Slayer, Ragnar Blackmane with this piece of artwork I don't think I've ever seen before. This is really clean and nice. I do like that piece. I'll try and zoom in on that for you to have a little look at. What do we have over here? Njal Stormcaller again. He has a lot of information, along with a wonderful piece of artwork with his Cyber Raven. I forget the name. Someone please let us know in the comments below. I know there's some Space Wolves experts out there. Space Wolf Logan Grimnar. Is this the man himself? I do love his checkered shoulder pad pattern there. And someone's even written a poem about him. One day we'll read that. Wolfgard Durfast of Mordrak. I thought he was a Grey Knight. Maybe I'm wrong. Wolfgard Ranulf. Don't know him. And Bjorn, everyone's favourite Space Wolves Dreadnought. Been around as long as time. And you even got a data facts cutout for him. You would cut this out, fold it in half, glue it together, and that would be your vehicle data card for 2nd edition. This was 1993, by the way. So next up we have Wolflord Kerl Grimblood, who I have never heard of in my entire life, although I do like the look of his totemic wolf headpiece there. Did anyone ever use Kirill Grimblood in their 2nd edition's armies? I want to know. Here we have the longest piece of fluff in a codex ever. Appears to be about Ragnar Blackmane fighting with some Tyranids. I see Gene Stealers mentioned, Tyranids mentioned, Harkon, I think we've heard his name before a few times. And yeah, that's a few pages long piece of fluff. That's a big one. Moving on, we come up to the old catalogue style pages, which everyone seemed to like back in the day. You could even cut these out and put them in your folder, so you had a reference to the codes, where you could buy each piece individually. You might just want that back banner. You might just want someone's head. You know, you might want Bjorn's legs, maybe, for a conversion which costs you more money than you ever earn in a year. Servitors, I always like these servitors. It's interesting seeing these old catalogues. When I was a kid, I used to photocopy these, draw the arms on and things, and cut them out and use them as like miniatures, like 2D standees, a bit like the 2nd edition Orc Dreadnought. Maybe that was what gave me the idea. Can you hear all those seagulls outside? There are millions. It's breeding season for them again outside. They love it. And here we have your Devastator Space Marines. Make sure you drill those barrels out. It's a lot to drill. And some awesome old Marines. There's some Mark II armour there. Mark III there, where it looks like the heads don't move. On Mark II and III, looks like they're set in stone. Mark IV, my favourite back in the day. Although now we prefer Mark VI. Mark VI is the best. I quite like Mark V though, always liked a bit of Mark V. Let us know what your favourite marks of armour are in the comments below. The Cyclone Missile Terminator and the strange Targeter arm, I don't remember that. Is that still a thing? Do they have a Targeter on their arm still? They moved on from that. Our Wolfguard Terminators, along with a Wolfguard Rune Priest. Don't remember seeing him in the Codex painted. The old school plastic Land Raider. This thing was quite cheap from what I remember. And a plastic Predator. Had one of these, think it cost me $9.99 back in the day. Damn, I wish I'd have kept it. I think we melted it or something once. Some scouts on the end. Space Wars always had a lot of lovely scout miniatures. And what's this here? Let's see if we can get a good shot of this. I do apologise for the glare. This is the Space Wolves and Dark Angels and Ultramarines and some Blood Angels there. All the old miniatures from back in the day. Absolutely beautiful. And that is Codex Space Wolves. And as you can see, it's quite a thick, heavy tome and quite a lovely book. So there you have it, the 2nd edition from Warhammer 40,000 2nd edition, Space Wolves Codex. What did you think of that? I really like the old style of artwork and miniature painting in there. It's on that verge of sort of Rogue Trader era, and they're just getting their feet into the door of normality. You know, everything has a certain specific style. Gone are the days of the Wild West where everything was really weird and no one had a clue, and at this point it looks like they had a clue. Anyway, I'm rambling again. So did you own the 2nd edition Space Wolves Codex? Do you still own the 2nd edition Space Wolves Codex? Did you ever use the 2nd edition Space Wolf cake? Space Wolf cake sounds interesting if you're into it. For your birthday, I would quite like a Space Wolves cake. Did you use the Space Wolves Codex in your games of Warhammer 40,000? If so, did it do very well? Was it considered OP or was it considered below par? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think was the best unit in the Space Wolves Codex? And was it Ragnar Blackmane? Do you think the old Space Wolves Codex, this one from 2nd edition, is better, or do you think the new current Space Wolf Codex is better? And no. If you enjoy the content on this channel, then please consider joining the Patreon, the link to which is in the description below. I just whacked my hand there. If you want to see some more Oldhammer, and I know you do, then check out the playlist up here somewhere. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. That means you, Ross. And as always, thank you very much for watching. And always remember to drill your barrels. I'm going to read some more codex.